Slam-In is the premier academic competition system that keeps score, manages timers, creates a public display so that everyone can follow along, and produces an SQBS-compatible score sheet for you automatically. You can even scrimmage against other Slam-In users online. Slam-In's options can be set to accommodate almost any kind of academic competition format, from national formats like History Bowl to state standard formats like Quick Recall in Kentucky to local and even school level competitions such as Battle of the Books. In this demonstration though, I've created something for us already, so I'll open an NAQT Scholastic 9-minute half type format where I've already entered the team names and the players' names. So all we need to do is click play to start. On the match screen, there are several important elements apart from the score boxes that I'd like to point out to you. Above the score boxes, there's a customizable round name, in this case first half. And then above the round name, there's also a customizable graphic which you could use to display a sponsor's logo as a way of fundraising for your team. Then in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, we display the round timer. And then below the team score boxes, you see the play button, which when clicked will enable ring-in activity on toss-ups. And below the gray line, there are several buttons that control various functions during a match, and the first one of those we'll use is the ring-in test button. As each player rings in,
Bloomington, Patrick,
you see on screen who they are, as well as hear the customized wave files that I created announcing the ring-in winner. Let's do that a few more times.
Glenwood, Charlie,
I click continue to clear.
Bloomington, Austin,
And when we're done with the ring-in test, we click end ring-in test. Now, NAQT QuizBowl is a very fast-paced format that uses a round timer. So even though we could operate the system by clicking on Slam-In's clearly labeled buttons, instead we'll be using the keyboard and pressing keys that correspond to things like power, neg, right, and wrong. So when the moderator begins to read, we press the space bar, which allows players to ring in when they're ready and starts the round timer in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. Let's say a player rings in early,
Bloomington, Sean,
before the power mark that is, and gives us a correct answer. We just press P for power, and that team earns 15 points. Also, Slam-In tees up a bonus question automatically, so we'll press the space bar again as the moderator reads the bonus parts. And as the moderator hears answers and judges them right and wrong, all we do is press the keys that correspond to right or wrong, and the score adjusts automatically. By the way, we could also start an answer timer just by pressing the space bar again. Let's mark this answer right. Every Slam-In system, by the way, comes with a set of stickers that correspond to all the hotkeys that you can use to operate Slam-In. Now let's read another toss-up. This time a player rings in earlier and answers incorrectly.
Glenwood, Madison,
So we'll press N for neg. That team loses 5 points and is out for the remainder of this toss-up. If the full question is then read, we can start the ring-in timer by pressing the space bar. Then if someone on the other team rings in and answers correctly, it's time for another bonus, so I'll mark this right. Let's play the bonus that they just earned. As you saw before, I can simply mark answers right and wrong, but for those of you who play by sometimes modified QuizBowl rules, there's a single option in Slam-In, and by changing it, you can make missed bonus parts rebound or bounce back to the other team. No problem. Now, the round timer can be stopped by clicking the timeout button or by pressing the hotkey on the keyboard to stop the timer. And we can start any of several preset timeouts, and I'm going to choose to play a 60-second timeout so that the timeout counter begins to count down in the upper right-hand portion of the screen. To swap out players, all I do is click the Subs and Setup button, and then once I'm back in Setup, I use the player drop-downs to swap players in and out. For example, if I want to take out Austin for Bloomington and put in Hannah, that's all I do. And when we've done that for all the substitutions, we click Resume, and then the first thing that the new player wants to do is test their buzzers, but before that, we don't have to wait for the timeout timer to count down. We can simply end it and then do the ring-in test.
Bloomington. Hannah.
And so Hannah, the only new player we entered, is fine. So it's time to resume the match. So we press the space bar when the moderator begins to read. And let's say another player,
Glenwood. Madison.
Madison this time powers, earning her team a bonus. And then we play through the bonus parts one at a time as the moderator judges the answers wrong, wrong, right. That's what we do over and over in a match through the toss-up and bonus cycles throughout the course of the first half. Now, when the round timer expires or we reach the end of the questions in the first half, we click End Round to end the first half. At this point, we could make substitutions, but you've already seen us do that, so we'll just begin the second half. And to do that, we click the button that's now labeled Start Round, and everything resets. We're back up to 9 minutes for the halves, and we play the second half exactly the same way as we play the first. And then when the match is complete, we click End Round. When we end the second half, though, the match is marked over at the top of the screen, and that's our indicator that our score sheets are ready. After we close the play screen, like this, we can go to the Reports menu, and we can open up either of two types of score sheets that are automatically generated by SlamIn. First, there's a statistics report that shows the summaries by type of question, that's toss-up and bonus, and within toss-ups by player of how well the teams performed. It has a section for toss-up performance at the top, followed by a summary of bonus question performance. This is the report that can be keyed right into SQBS. A question-by-question report, on the other hand, is more like a log or journal that shows us what happened when and in chronological order. It's often used at tournaments to help a paper scorekeeper figure out where they made their mistake. This type of report can also capture the question's category and subcategory, which will show you where, by topic and subtopic, your team has strengths and weaknesses. This is often used by coaches in practice sessions. Now, if you'd like more information about the score sheets that SlamIn produces, we have another video tutorial dedicated to that topic. But keep in mind, there are never any wires on the floor with SlamIn. And while a typical match only involves 2 teams of 4 players each, SlamIn supports matches with up to 10 teams, each of which can have up to 5 slammers or buzzers. And because SlamIn is computer-based, you can use the internet to broadcast matches for parents, friends, and well-wishers using something like GoToMeeting, Skype, or a host of other screen-sharing applications. And because of the way that our slammers and buzzers work, you can even compete against other teams online without traveling. Contact us if you'd like to know more about how to do that. You can find more information about SlamIn on our QuizBowl Systems site at www.quizbowlsystems.com, or you can go directly to www.slammersystems.com. You can also call us at 815-261-4586.